Hello, everyone! Artemu the Violet Wizard here. And today, to close off this very interesting year, there is one last game I want to start. One that I have been very excited to play on this channel for a long time now. Welcome, one and all, to my stream series of The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. This is widely considered one of the most important and one of the most influential games of all time, where we wouldn't have a lot of games that we know today without this one. Despite it being only the 5th mainline Zelda game, this is still a very important one in the history of this entire medium, and one that I've definitely known for quite a long time. It's definitely very important to me. While not my personal favorite Zelda game, as that obviously goes to Link's Awakening, this is still a great one, and I am very excited to be playing it here today. That said, I think we have kept this beginning a little long for the moment, so let us just dive right in. God, I'm so excited for this. Alright, so we have our options of picking our file for the game, and then of course we have the ability to name the main character that we are going to be playing this adventure with. Obviously, I'm sticking with my normal name, which is Hayden. Now that's over, we can finally begin our file. Let's begin. In the vast, deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. And he has no blanket, apparently. Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither. Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it? The climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces, even now, are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now, find our young friend, and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly! The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee. You got it, boss! I will not let you down! Okay, now which is the way to the Kokiri village again? I think go that way, goes this way, and whoop! Right under the skirt. Okay, let's see. Where are we going?
Hello.
Hi there, nice to see you. Now, past the water. I do not want to know what that guy is doing to that rock over there. Let's see. Is it... Ah, there it is. It's gonna be... Ow! Son of an Octorok! Ow! Oh, that's gonna bruise. Okay, should be right in here. Hello, Hayden. Wake up. The Great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Hayden, get up. I don't want to. Hey, come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? You finally woke up. I'm Navi the fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going right now. Our adventure officially begins. So the character we are playing is canonically known as Link, but for this playthrough they will be known as Hayden, as that is the name we entered when we first started our journey. Yes, we have our little companion Navi with us, who is going to be accompanying us all throughout our journey. They're certainly going to be an interesting addition to our little band. Let us step outside to Kokiri Forest. Yahoo! Hi, Hayden! Got a friend of ours down here. Just want to head down this ladder and talk to her. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Hayden. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Hayden. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. So this little lady here is Saria, one of our friends here in Kokiri Forest. So yeah, we have a very interesting little starting area for this game. Kokiri Forest is a pretty nice area to begin our adventure. Certainly a lot of interesting sights to see here, and a lot of people we can talk and interact with. That meanie Mido made me cut the grass at Saria's house. Mido told Saria who would do it so she would like him, but I'm the one doing all the work. You and Saria are close friends, so you help me cut the grass? I'll let you keep anything that you find while cutting it. Sadly, we don't have any means of cutting it. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please, come with me. So sometimes when you're just journeying through the game, you'll get an indicator from Navi that she wants to talk to you. And this will pop up quite a few times throughout our adventure. Before we go to our main objective here, we want to look around the village, as there's quite a bit to see. So sometimes in the various places you can go, you can find these pots. Simply pick them up, and then you can throw them to get the juicy contents inside. In this case, they contain rupees. These serve as the main currency of this game. The green rupee we picked up was worth 1 rupee, and the blue one we picked up is worth 5. So definitely be on the lookout for different colored rupees. They can give you some very nice things. My sister took some rupees and went shopping at the store that has a red roof. Speaking of rupees, a green one is worth 1, a blue one is worth 5, and a red one is worth 20. Yep, going into what I just said earlier. Definitely recommend talking to as many NPCs as you can, because they do have some nice little bits of information for you. So this was the direction that Navi flew from at the start of the game, so let's see what we can do here. Hey you, Mr. No Fairy! What's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man! What? You got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? This isn't funny! I don't believe it!
You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and shield ready? What? You're right, I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh. So this very helpful fellow there is Mido. He kind of has a beef with our character. Funny enough, the Ocarina of Time manga really goes into the rivalry between Link and Mido, and it's really dang fun. Hi Hayden, look this way. Look over here with Zed and talk to me with A. Sure thing. Yes, that's how you use a fairy. It's so great that you finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to people using your fairy. When a fairy flies near a person or thing, press Z to look in that direction. If you use Z targeting, you can talk to people from a distance, like we're doing now. When you have nothing that you can target, you can press Z just to look forward. Try it! That is definitely a very nice addition to this game, the ability to be able to change what direction your character is looking on the fly, as well as target very specific individuals, like the various NPCs around town. Ah man, just playing this game again, it just feels so good. Like, this is definitely a Nintendo 64 game, but it really does its best to make use of the various qualities of that console. Like, this is an insanely very good game to play. Oh, you have a fairy now! That's great, Hayden. What? You've been called by the Great Deku Tree? What an honor! He may give you a special gift. That's because the Great Deku Tree is our father, the Forest Guardian, and he gave life to all of us Kokiri. So the Kokiri here in the forest are based on various folklore about various forest fae that would, of course, be living in woods, like brownies or pixies. It's kind of nice to incorporate these kind of different races and folklore in this game. Definitely adds a lot to the flavor of the adventure here. A by the stone, pick it up. A by the stone, pick it up. Mean old Mido, he made me pick up the rocks in front of his house. Then we're able to pick up rocks just like we did with the pots earlier. And just like pots, these also contain rupees, so it'd be a good idea to smash a few. Right now, we're definitely going to want to focus on gathering rupees in order to obtain some of the items that Mido told us to get. Otherwise, we won't be able to get to the Great Deku Tree. In total, we are going to need 40 rupees for one of the things we need, so we're definitely going to be on the lookout. Oh, a fairy finally came to you! Now you have a lot to learn. The best place to go to learn some new skills is in the Forest Training Center. It's on the hill just above here. We'll definitely check that out in a little bit. Let's see what's over this way. You're not allowed to leave the forest. The Great Deku Tree said that if a Kokiri leaves the woods, he or she will die. So as long as this guy's here, we're not able to pass through that doorway. So we're just kind of stuck here in Kokiri Forest for the time being, just looking around and seeing what we can do. Remember this house being a little interesting. House of the Know-It-All Brothers. This is a nice area to get acquainted with the overall controls of the game. So you talk to this guy here. I can teach you about the icons at the top of the screen. Some helpful advice you can get from these people, but really not important to really go into these here. Do you want to know how to use the C buttons? No? Well, if you play around with it, you'll figure it out. Yeah, these guys do help to offer a lot of tips about controlling in the game, but it's nothing that we really need to worry about because I can quickly discuss anything we need as it comes up. If you want to learn about the map and items, just ask me. Don't ask unless you want to hear a long explanation. What do you want to know about? I really don't care about any of these. Well, just remember this. If you want to save, press start to get into the sub-screen, then press B. Definitely remember to save your game often, especially if you tend to do long sessions, because otherwise, you could end up losing a lot of progress in this game. We're gonna skip past all the main stuff here in the training area, except for you. Hey, let's work on some moves! To jump sideways while Z targeting, press A as you move right or left. To do a backflip while Z targeting, press A as you move backwards. To do a roll attack while Z targeting, press A as you move forward. While you roll, you can avoid damage. If you have your sword ready while Z targeting, you can do a jump attack by pressing A. A jump attack does double damage. You can use Z targeting on the stone next to me, so let's practice. That's mainly going into some of the combat stuff that will be very important later on. Meanwhile, just want to get near this hole in the wall here, and we can crawl through this way. Except there are definitely a lot of mechanics to go over, even in the starting area. So them just casually introducing you to all of these different mechanics is definitely helpful. Viewpoint with Z targeting. When you have no object to look at, you can just look forward with Z. Stop moving and then change the direction you're facing, or hold down Z for a little while. This can help you get oriented in the direction you want to face. It's quite convenient. If you hold down Z, you can walk sideways while facing straight ahead. Walking sideways can be a very important technique in dungeon corridors. Turn around and try doing this right now. It's definitely a lot of interesting things they have to bring up involving the camera, since before this point in time, the Zelda series has mostly been top-down adventure games. And this was the first game to have the camera mainly centered behind Link. So obviously that is very important in order to give you all of these little tutorials about how to do all of that. Visit the house of the Know-It-All Brothers to get answers to all your item-related questions. Meanwhile, just gonna go up to this chest and open it. There are a lot of chests throughout the land of Hyrule, and you want to open them to get the goodies inside. Like this. You got the Kokiri sword. On the equipment subscreen, select it with the cursor and equip it with A. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. So now that we have this particular item, it's time to go into our main menu here. You're able to switch between 4 different tabs using the Z or R buttons in order to use all the different screens here. Starting off here, we have the equipment screen, which shows all the current gear that Link has equipped. We're gonna go ahead and equip the Kokiri sword right away so that we have this in our grasp. A few items we'll also need to go over here, such as the item screen, which will be in a bit. We have the map screen here, which is fairly basic. It gives you an idea on where you currently are in the land of Hyrule. Currently, we only have Kokiri Forest unlocked, so that's the only area we're able to really see. We're able to save our game whenever we want, which is definitely very useful. Save often. Quest status is good for showing your progress at obtaining certain objectives in the game. We'll definitely go a lot more into what that holds as we go forward in our adventure. But yep, now that we have our sword, there's finally a lot of good stuff we can do. Namely, we can use it to hack away at various things in the world. Namely, plants. It's going to be one of the main things we're going to be able to interact with here in Kokiri Forest, obviously. Alright, so now that we have our sword, let's go into a little bit about the various mechanics we were taught about here. So while Z targeting, we're able to move the left or right stick in order to strafe around a target. We can quickly hop while strafing, then we can also do a backflip or do a jump attack, which, as stated before, allows you to deal double damage. Very useful. This sign will also be good. Switching targets. If you see an icon above an object, you can target it with Z. In other words, if you press Z when you see above an object, you can lock onto it. If you press Z again, the lock will either release or will transfer to the next object with a blank above it. When you have many enemies in your field of view and you want to escape, press Z while holding back to cancel targeting. You can target the stones next to the sign for practice. Yep, there's going to be a lot of combat scenarios later on that will have us needing to face multiple targets at once, so that's going to be very important to know. Alright, we already almost have enough rupees. There we go. Also, you can just chop up the signs. That's another cute little detail you can do here. But with that, we have all the rupees we need in order to do a certain thing. So we're gonna go ahead and do that in just a bit. We want to go up here now, which is Saria's house, and just want to head over this bridge here in order to talk to one other person. Sometimes the controls in this game can be a little off at times, so you can end up just totally whiffing a jump at some points. It's not too bad. As long as you adjust the camera properly, you shouldn't have too much trouble with this. Definitely want to get used to these controls later on. Hello there. You came all the way up here? You're a real man. Look, isn't this view pretty? Change your viewpoint with up so you can look around the forest with that. Definitely some good advice. From a high vantage point, you can definitely see a lot of the various areas you're exploring. Also, this Kokiri has a unique design compared to the other Kokiri girls, and she actually has her own name, which is Fado. She's pretty cute. Alright, but now that we got all of that taken care of, time to head into the shop. This shop, it sells things you can get in the forest for free. Do you know how to use the Deku Shield? When you get the shield, press start to get into the subscreens. Select the equipment subscreen with Z or R. On the equipment subscreen, choose the item you want to equip and press A to equip that item. Once you equip it, hold it up with R and change its angle. Oh man, the screen got a little glitchy there. And I can see we got us a bot here. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this. Just give me a second here. Okay, just had to enact a little bit of a thing here, so that should be good now. Alright, back into the action here. What I want to do in the shop before we interrupt it is talk to this guy. Welcome! I love this guy is so short that he has to jump up over the counter just to be seen. Shop around by moving the left or right. So here in the shop, we're able to buy quite a few different things. Most of the stuff here is not going to be useful to us at the moment. Just going to quickly go over some things here. Deku Seeds, we can use them as bullets for a slingshot, but we can't buy them until we get a slingshot. We have arrows, which we require a bow to be able to use, so we can't do anything with that. Recovery hearts will be used to refill our hearts, which you can see in the top left of the screen. We currently have 3 life hearts, which those are our life, and if we take a lot of damage, we will start to lose hearts. So, definitely useful to make sure that you have enough hearts before you do anything. We can buy Deku Nuts here. We can buy these immediately, but I'm going to save those for later. We can also buy Deku Sticks, which are pretty helpful, but we can get those later, so we're going to leave that for now. And then we got the main thing we came to the shop for, the Deku Shield. It's worth 40 rupees, so you definitely want to do a little bit of grinding here to grab it. You got a Deku Shield. Switch to the equipment subscreen, select the shield. Press A to equip it. Press R to crouch and defend. If you press R while Z targeting, you can move while defending. We are not going to buy anything else, thank you, and we're just going to move along. Alright, so back into our equipment screen. Want to quickly equip the shield so that we have it. It's a very nice little shield, obviously made from tree bark, but it does its job very nicely. As it said, we can press R in order to equip our shield to defend against attacks, and we're able to move if we Z the target and then use the R button. Definitely very useful, because trust me, using the shield is very important in this game. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Eh? What's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief! Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the Great Mida, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how'd you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Someone salty. So now that we've cleared a Mido from our path, we can just go forward. And around here, we finally have exposure to enemies. While targeting an enemy, you can use Navi to get information on enemies. Deku Baba. Though it looks withered, it will hurt you if you touch it. So I wanted to quickly equip our sword here. And just slice the enemy in order to take it out. You got a Deku Stick. On the Select Item subscreen, you can set it to C buttons. Set it to C and swing with C. When you want to put it away, stand still and press A. You can carry up to 10 sticks, but don't waste them. Just gonna go into these in just a little bit. Got him. Already my control scheme right now is kind of messing with me. So now we can go into items. These are various things that can be equipped to the C buttons. And whenever you have these items, you're just able to equip and use them. Deku Sticks are a multi-function item. Not only they can be used as a weapon against certain enemies, but they're also fairly useful for solving puzzles, which is their main use. I'm actually going to try to kill a couple Deku Babas here in order to build up my number of Deku Sticks, as these are going to be very important going forward. Trust me, you'll definitely want to hold on to a couple Deku Sticks whenever you're going out in the field. They're very important items, so stock up on them. Alright, now that we got that done, it's time to move forward to the big man himself. Great Deku Tree, I'm back!
Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. Hayden, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Hayden, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Some power would also be nice there. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? Yes, we do. Then enter, brave Hayden, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Hayden. And Hayden, when Navi speaks, you see up to listen well to her words of wisdom.
Okay. The big tree has opened his mouth, and we have to go in to save him from the curse. Inside the Deku Tree. Welcome to the first dungeon in the game. Yeah, already we are getting thrown into a dungeon. And a pretty good one to start our adventure off. So right here we got some Deku Babas here, but these ones are a bit different. Unlike the other ones we saw, these ones will actually lunge at you. And they can be a little tricky to deal with. Just want to do a jump attack, which is very good for taking these guys out. and then claim their sweet, sweet booty. So yeah, there are two kinds of Deku Babas. Ones that just stick straight up, and then there's the ones that will lunge at you. Definitely very important to make sure you deal with them in the correct way. Look, look, Hayden. You can see down below this web using up. So definitely make use of this. We can see down that spider web that there is some more area down there, but can't do anything about that just yet. So let us move forward. Just want to climb up this ladder here and just hop across this. So what's nice about this game is that there is no dedicated jump button, but Link will automatically jump over gaps if there is something that he's able to reach. Definitely very helpful. Over here we got some enemies on these walls. Skull Walchula. Be careful not to touch it. Yeah, those would be a bit tricky to deal with. We currently are not equipped for dealing with them. Look at this wall. The vines growing on it give it a rough surface. Maybe you can climb it, Hayden. I would, but there are spiders on it. We'll just ignore those guys for now and open up this chest. And inside is... You found the dungeon map. Press start to get into the subscreens and look at the map subscreen. Blue chambers are places you have already visited. Your current location is the flashing room. Move up and down to select a floor to view. Some maps are definitely very important in this game. So now that we have the map on the map screen, we can see that's now replaced with the map of the dungeon. You can scroll through the various floors to see the various areas you're able to explore, and it's just a nice way to configure yourself with everything you need to do. You will always find a map in every dungeon in the game, so definitely be on the lookout for them. You can open a door by standing in front of it and pressing A. Pay attention to what the action icon says. That's the blue icon at the top of the screen. Yes, indeed, Navi. And here we got ourselves a new foe. Deku Scrub. It'll hide in the grass and get close to it. Bounce the nuts it spits back at it. This guy just want to equip your shield and shoot the nut back at it.
Ow, ow, ow! Forgive me, Master. If I give you a clue, will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold forward, you'll roll on the ground when you land and won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it'll work, though, if the cliff is really, really high. Well, try it if you're feeling bold.
Definitely some good advice. That could actually help us out sometime in the future. Now we want to go over here. Let's jump on this platform, and... Oof, we weren't fast enough to be able to actually jump across. It's a shame. Usually I'm actually able to pull that off, but... I want to open up this chest here now at the end of this corridor. You found the fairy slingshot with my golden magic slingshot. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to the C buttons. Press C to take it out and hold it. As you hold C, you can aim. Release C to unleash a Deku Seed. If you want to shoot right away when you first press C, hold down C a little longer to get a seed ready. So now we got ourselves a very good item. So back into the item screen, we'll just go ahead and reconfigure our items here. So the slingshot is a ranged weapon. It is very darn useful against a lot of different things we are going to be seeing as this journey continues. And it's also good for solving puzzles, as we were able to use it to shoot down that ladder. So yeah, this is definitely a very good item. We're going to be using the slingshot so many times during our journey. And what's nice is that you can even use it while Z targeting in order to automatically aim at an enemy. And sometimes enemies will drop these, Deku Seeds. These are small hard seeds that you can use as bullets for your slingshot. Definitely very useful. Want to pick up as many seeds as you can to use as ammo. And yeah, with that, we were able to just take out these spiders, which if we tried to crawl up the wall while there were still Skull Walchulas, if they saw us, they would charge at us and knock us off the wall. So that's why I recommend picking up the slingshot before you take those guys on. Now that we're over on this end, we're all the way up here. We got some new enemies to contend with. Big Skulltula. Its soft belly is its weak point. Just wait for them to turn around and then slash at them with your sword. The front of the spider is armored, so you will not be able to damage them from that end. So definitely keep that in mind. So while we got a lot of combat stuff here, I felt like it'd be nice to briefly mention that depending on your position or how you are affecting your different button presses, Link can do a variety of different swings with the sword. If you're not holding a direction stick down, you'll just do a horizontal slash. If you're holding the stick forward, though, he does a vertical slash. And if you hold down the attack button for a few seconds, he'll get into this pose and do a spin attack to do damage to enemies surrounding him. Definitely very useful. Keep all that in mind as we're going forward. So I want to step on that switch there to be able to get across these platforms. Switches are very important as they'll be able to activate various mechanisms. And inside this chest, you found the compass! Now you can see the locations of many hidden things in the dungeon. The compass is definitely an essential item you'll want to pick up. It's not useful for completing a dungeon, but it makes the process of finishing these areas much easier, as they will display not only your position on the minimap, but also shows you which rooms have chests in them, as well as showing you the location of the boss at the end of the dungeon. So it's very good to keep all of that in mind. Buddy, could you just go away? So we're not quite done with this area just yet. I want to take out a Deku stick and bring it by that torch to ignite it. And then we can pass the flame over to that brazier in order to open the door. So we'll be able to head back that way. However, there's some stuff we can do over here that I want to take care of. Got this big old spider here we gotta take out. It'd be nice to take this guy out before we go forward with this next bit. So just wait for you to turn and take you out. As you can probably still hear, there is something else in this room that we need to do. And it's definitely going to be important to talk about this, as it's going to be essential to this playthrough. So over here, we're going to save that chest for now. Look at this guy. So this is a special kind of Skulltula, known as a Gold Skulltula. We are unable to lock onto it with Navi. It's one of the few enemies that Navi is incapable of locking onto. So want to just take you out with our sword, and doing so will cause it to drop this little skull token. You destroyed a Gold Skulltula. You got a token proving you destroyed it. So all throughout this game, there are a total of 100 Gold Skulltulas in order to hunt down and defeat. And then you need to claim their token to prove that you have destroyed it. Otherwise, the Gold Skulltula will just respawn. You'll want to try to track down as many Gold Skulltulas as you can, because there are a variety of rewards you're able to get by killing Gold Skulltulas, and they're definitely very nice. What I would recommend for a lot of first-time players is to only hunt down at least 50 Gold Skulltulas, as that is a pretty decent number for acquiring all of the useful rewards you're going to be needing throughout the game. However, for this stream series, I'm going after all 100 Gold Skulltulas, and I'll be showing off every location you can find them in. So yeah, this is going to be a very important goal that's going to be lasting the entire run of the game. So anyway, we were told earlier that'd be something nice would happen if we were to jump from a high enough area. So let's go ahead and jump here and fall right into the web, breaking it, allowing us to access the lower area. Very nice. Alright, buddy, you got it? You can do this? Come on. Trying to get me. Come on, you can do it. Nice try. Ha-ha. Alright, so up here, there's another gold Skulltula on this wall here. Let's go ahead and take you out, and then we can just climb this wall here to grab your token. Traditionally, there should be at least 4 gold Skulltulas in every dungeon in the game, so definitely keep that in mind as you are going through these areas. Then we have another Skulltula up here. They're just really unloading these guys, aren't they? So for this one's a little interesting. Think want to... Yeah, for this one, we're going to need to actually jump from a high enough point in order to reach that one. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So we're just going to... So let's get back onto this ledge and grab this thing. Now, I believe this is a token that you're intended to grab later after you acquire certain equipment later on. But we can just grab it now by doing that jump technique, so it's really not that important. So there's another chest here. I believe this one is also going to contain a recovery heart. So yeah, nothing that major. Now we got another one of these torches we have to do in order to progress forward. So want to carry this flame over here and burn that webbing. Something to note about our Deku sticks in relation to these puzzles. When you have a Deku stick on fire, it will eventually burn away completely and expend that Deku stick. So you want to quickly resheath the stick in order to prevent it from burning away.
Please forgive me, Master. I'll never do it again. If you spare me, I'll teach you something cool. You'll never beat my brothers up ahead unless you punish them in the proper order. The order is 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1. Do you think I'm a traitor?
Maybe. And now we have this little eye switch here that we can shoot in order to open up the door there. There's going to be a lot of those little switches throughout the land of Hyrule, so definitely be on the lookout for them. They're very important if you're going to be finishing these areas. So now we can move forward. After you get into the water, if you hold down A, you can dive. I bet there's some interesting things underwater. That there is, Navi. So this is going to give us our first look at water controls. When you dive into water, you're just able to swim on the surface of the water. However, you also have the ability to dive in order to reach things that are lower in the water. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do with swimming for the time being besides this little room here. Just gonna leave that for now. And then we're just gonna duck under you in order to get across. Yeah, it's a pretty simple puzzle there, but still pretty good. Alright, so I want to try to get a jump attack on this guy. Because a jump attack will instantly kill a big Skulltula. Stand next to this block and grab hold of it with A. While holding A, you can push or pull it. If you stand next to the block and press A while pressing towards the block, you can climb on top of it. Pay attention to what the action icon says. That I will, Navi. So now we have blocks that we're able to push. There's going to be a lot of these things throughout the land of Hyrule, and so definitely want to get accustomed to them. Also, just want to say right now, because of the version of the game that I am playing, the texture on the block has a symbol on it that is quite different from future releases of this game. Early releases of Ocarina of Time used to have this pattern on the blocks that has a crescent moon with a star in the center of it. This was changed in later editions of the game due to that particular symbol being seen as sacred to certain beliefs. I believe mostly like Islam or Muslim cultures. That's traditionally a symbol that is considered sacred to them. So yeah, that symbol was changed in later releases. That's not the only change that was made in this game, as we are going to be seeing going forward. But just wanted to mention that now because it's kind of interesting. Let's jump attack you to take you out. And this room's definitely gonna have some neat things for us to see here. We've got some new enemies dropping from the ceiling. Goma larva. Watch out when it gets ready to pounce. These guys will glow red and then lunge at you to attack. It's gonna be quite a bit of a pain if you're not careful. But otherwise, they're not really too bad. About time we pick these up. You got a Deku Nut. On the select item subscreen, you can set it with the C buttons. Set it to C and try throwing it. You'll flash and stun the enemy. So Deku Nuts here. They're typically an item I don't really use much in this game, but they can be pretty helpful. So we're gonna see in just a little bit once I take care of a few things. Want to use this torch here to burn away this web. And how about I show this off? You can use the Deku Nut in order to stun an enemy. While it is stunned, an enemy will not be able to attack you, giving you an opening to attack and dish out some good damage. Meanwhile, just want to briefly note this area. So right here, there doesn't appear to be much else in this room, just a wall. We'll want to remember that for some time in the future. Okay, so want to just light this torch again. And we're going to walk over here to burn away this wall. Very nice. Alright, now we're going to be crawling through here. And this should take us back over to this room that we were in before. Except we're in a much higher area of this room now. And we'll want to push this block over here in order to get us a quick way back up. It's got some more Babas to deal with. Also like the theming of the enemies in this area. Since this area is the inside of a tree, a lot of the enemies we're taking on here are either plants or spiders. Definitely very fitting here. So got another big web in the center of this area. And wouldn't you know it, we have this torch over here. So what I want to do is light a Deku stick, and then we're going to quickly jump over here, and then roll into the web in order to burn it away. Oof. Just like that, we are at the final room in this area. So in this room, we have 3 Deku Scrubs to deal with. And in order to go forward, we have to attack them in the correct order. Starting with the one in the middle, then we'll attack the one on the right, and finally, the one on the left. Come here, buddy.
Ow! How did you know our secret? How irritating! It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Goma to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Goma, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Oh, Queenie, sorry about that!
And that takes care of these Deku Scrubs. Would you believe me? I said these guys are technically the mid-boss of this area. But with all that taken care of, we should have seen everything we can here. Okay, there is one other thing over there we forgot to grab, but... yeah, I believe that was that one chest we saw before that we really didn't need. So yeah, we don't need to do anything with that. Let's just go forward. So here at last, we're in the boss chamber. The very last room in the Great Deku Tree. There's no going back now. Parasitic Armored Arachnid, Goma! Say hello to the boss of the Deku Tree. Goma here can be a little tricky if you don't really know the solution here. So want to shoot her in the eye when it turns red, and then hack away at her with your sword. She is quite the fiend here. Goma's one of the parasitic monsters inside the Deku Tree. Its eye's vulnerable when it's red. After you deal enough hits to her, she will climb up the walls and then hang around the ceiling for a bit. So while she's on the ceiling, if you see her eye turning red, you can take that opportunity to shoot her again. However, I'm going to take this opportunity just to let her do her thing here. She will start to shoot out some eggs from her ovipositor and then use them to conjure up some Goma larvae to attack you. Yep, these are the sources of the Goma larva that we saw earlier in the game. And would you believe me if I said this is the second and only time we are ever going to see Goma larva in this game? Yeah, for whatever reason, they only appear in these two areas of the Great Deku Tree, and then never again. Now that we took them out, Goma is back for revenge. Come here, Queenie. Shoot you, and let's take you out. Alright, she's heading back to the ceiling, so I'm going to take this moment to actually show what you're supposed to do here when she's on the ceiling. Come here, Queenie. Get you to get in position here, and just shoot you right in the eye. And there we go. God, I just love the death animations of the bosses in this game. It's very cool to see all the various ways that they expire, and that is certainly a good one. And for beating Queen Goma, you got a heart container. Your maximum life energy is increased by 1 heart. Your life energy will be totally filled. So by picking that up, our health has been increased from 3 hearts to 4. Every dungeon boss in the game will drop a heart container when you beat it, so be sure to pick those up. Unless you're doing a challenge run, in which case, do whatever you feel like. But yeah, that was a pretty decent first boss for our adventure. Goma has been a staple of the Zelda series since the very first game, and very nice to see this iteration of that particular enemy. But with that said, it's time to enter the blue light here and finish up our journey here inside the Deku Tree. It's a pretty good run of the first dungeon, all things considered. Did a nice job of teaching you a lot of the mechanics that will be essential going forward.
Well done, Hayden. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou would be able to carry out my wishes. Now, I have yet more to tell ye. Wouldst thou listen?
Sure.
Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me. This evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorcerous powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. Farore, the goddess of courage. Din, With her strong, flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth.
Now, when you say flaming...
Nehru
Oh, okay, go ahead.
poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Furor, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. The three great goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens, and golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence, and the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm.
Fancy.
Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce. Thou must never suffer that man, with his evil heart, to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. Hayden, go now to Hyrule Castle. There, thou wilt surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take the stone with you, the stone that man wanted so much that he cast the curse on me.
Pretty. You got the Kokiri's Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the Great Deku Tree.
The future depends upon thee, Hayden. Thou art courageous. Navi the Fairy, help Hayden to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Good. Bye.
Let's go to Hyrule Castle, Hayden. Goodbye, Great Deku Tree. Something I definitely really appreciate about this game a lot is that you feel your impact of your actions throughout the story, but at the same time you also get to see what happens when you fail. We were unable to save the Great Deku Tree, and he has passed away. What I love about this game, too, is that it makes use of the hardware of the game in order to be able to produce a lot, just able to really go nuts with the cutscenes, whereas previous games wouldn't be able to do something like this. It's really incredible what they were able to do on the hardware. Hey, Mido. Hey, Hayden! What did you do? The Great Deku Tree! Did he die? How could you do a thing like that? It's all your fault! It's not our fault, Mido. We were too late. But yeah, with the Great Deku Tree done, a path forward is set to us. We have to leave the forest. But for now, let's talk to some of the citizens around here and see what they have to say. Mido's very upset. Something happened to him? Nah, he's just feeling a little, Let's go up here and see if we can talk to Fado again. I like her. Hey, Fado.
What did you do to the Great Deku Tree?
I didn't do anything.
What? Where are you going? To the castle? Where's the castle?
Somewhere. Hey, bud.
Mido is very upset.
Something happened to him?
What? Where are you going? To the castle? Where's the castle?
You heard something like that before. And what about you? We Kokiri will die if we leave the forest. You're not going to try to leave the forest, are you? We have no choice. This is what the Great Deku Tree told us to do in his final moments. So, let us go forward.
Oh, you're leaving.
Hey, Saria.
I knew that you would leave the forest someday, Hayden. Because you're different from me and my friends. But that's okay, because we'll be friends forever, won't we? I want you to have this ocarina. Please, take good care of it.
You received the Fairy Ocarina. This is a memento from Saria. Set it to C and press C to start playing it. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to the buttons and then use that C to start playing it. You can play different notes with A and the 4 C buttons. Press B to quit playing or to start your song over again.
When you play my ocarina, I hope you'll think of me and come back to the forest to visit.
I will, Saria. Goodbye. That is sad having to leave all of our friends and our home behind, but the adventure calls to us. Hyrule Field. Oh boy, we got a lot to do here. Alright, so very quickly, want to show off the ocarina a bit more detail. So with the ocarina equipped, you're just able to use the C and the A buttons to be able to play various notes. Not much we can really do with this thing at the moment besides playing some neat music. Also, you can change the pitch of the notes if you hold the Z button, which is kind of interesting. And you can also do the same with the R button. I think that changes the notes to either being flat or sharp, depending on which button you're pressing. But anyway, let's move forward.
Hoo-hoo! Hayden, look up here. It appears that the time has finally come for you to start your adventure. You will encounter many hardships ahead. That is your fate. Don't feel discouraged, even during the toughest times. Go straight this way and you will see Hyrule Castle. You will meet a princess there. If you are lost and don't know which way to go, look at the map. The areas you have explored will be shown on the map. Press start to enter the subscreens and Z or R to find the map. On the map subscreen, you'll also see a flashing dot showing you which way you should go next. Did you get all that?
Yes, we did.
Alright then, see you around. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
So just like Link's Awakening, we have an owl character who will be showing up throughout this adventure and giving us advice. So that character is canonically known as Kaipora Gaibora. He'll show up from time to time and tell us some useful information. So right away, how about we get started by checking out some of the things we can do here in Hyrule Field. First up, we got this big guy here, P-Hat. Its weak point is its roots. Yeah, unlike the P-Hats from the older Zelda games, this one is a big boy. Just want to just get right under him and avoid those spinning blades and strike his roots to take him out. That one only dropped a single rupee, but there are a few P-hats you can find around Hyrule Field, mostly in the southern section. So you can go see them whenever you want. But interesting to note here, now that we're in Hyrule Field, you note that the sky is changing color. So this game has a day and night cycle. As time passes in-game, it will affect a lot of the locations you'll get to explore, such as changing the area here from day to night, which will also introduce new challenges for us to face, like these guys, which will start popping out of the ground once it's nighttime in Hyrule Field. I believe we stay on the main trail here, we don't have to worry about them, and they only pop up if you stray from the path. Well, let's go more into these guys. Stall Child. Don't be afraid of the Stall Child, just attack it repeatedly. There really isn't much else to these guys. They will just try to get close to you and attack. Just simply take them out with your sword, and that's all you need to do with them. However, there is something interesting that can happen if you kill enough of these guys consecutively. So we're going to try and do that before it changes back to daytime. Come on, I know you're going to show up here eventually. Oh, damn, see that big guy? So if you kill enough Stall Child, eventually a big one will appear. And if you kill it, it drops a blue rupee. It'd be very nice if you're looking to grind rupees for something going forward. Which, I'm probably most likely going to need more rupees in a little bit for some things I plan on doing. But for now, now that it is daytime, excuse me, only during the day, that drawbridge will be lowered, allowing us to go forward. Which will be pretty important. So right away, before we go check out some things around here, want to quickly head into this building. Oh, look at all this. So we can roll right into these crates in order to break them. We also got pots, and they're all full of rupees. Grab them all, grab them all! Now this room is very useful if you want to stock up on rupees. There's just a lot you can grab here from these pots, so just go ahead and grab as many as you can. Hey, what do you have to say, buddy? Man, I am so bored. Things would surely be more interesting if there were more troubles in the world. Hey, that's just between you and me, okay? Anyway, maybe we can let off some steam by breaking these jars. Stand near a jar and press A to lift it. Press A again to toss it. That's not as fun as just hacking away at them, though. But yeah, the main reason I want to go in here is because there's another gold Skulltula that you can find in here. Definitely want to grab that one. So that our total should now be at 4. Still got quite a lot of gold Skulltulas to grab, but we'll be focusing on those a bit later. But for now, let's move forward. Welcome to Market. This is a nice little hub town situated just before Hyrule Castle. A lot of people we can see and talk to here. I'm late! A very important date! I'll leave you to that. Hey, let go, it's mine! I got it first! There's a lot of NPCs we can talk to around here, so why don't we go ahead and talk to a few? This beard is my pride and joy. Doesn't it look luxuriant, kid? I guess it's fine. Oh, you are so handsome, just like the King of Hyrule. This lady chasing a chicken here. I don't think we can talk to you, actually. Let's go see who else we can talk to. Kid, have you been to Lon Lon Ranch? Their milk is delicious. There are many horses there, and the young daughter of the ranch owner is cute. To get to Lon Lon Ranch after you leave town, head due south across the field. You should visit the ranch at least once. Oh, we're definitely gonna go there soon. Hello there, lady. My precious puppy can run faster than any of the other mutts around here. Good to know. Well, hello there, you. Hey, your clothes, they're
different. You're not from around here, are you?
Maybe.
Oh, you're a fairy boy from the forest.
What do you mean by that?
My name is Malin. My dad owns Lon Lon Ranch. Dad went to the castle to deliver some milk, and he hasn't come back yet.
Definitely want to look into you a bit later.
I made a lot of money. Maybe I should go look for more things to sell. I know. I should go to Lake Hylia. Many things float down the river and end up there.
It's another thing we'll want to check out later.
I'm not dancing, you know. My back itches. Ooh, ah, ooh.
Hey, Forest Boy, this the city of Hyrule. Take your time and enjoy the sights. If you came here to see Hyrule Castle, take the street on your right. If you want to see the back alleys of the town, take the street to the left.
Maybe we will.
Please, with C, please sell me something. Please, with C.
So that character will buy certain items you may have, but we don't have any need for you at the time being.
Have you heard the legend of the Shadow Folk? They are the Sheikah, the shadows of the Hylians. They say they swore allegiance to the King of Hyrule and guarded the royal family. But with the long peace, no one has seen a Sheikah around here for a long time. However, I heard there is one Sheikah woman living in the castle.
May want to keep that in mind for later.
Do you know about the Temple of Time that we have in the northeast part of town? Legend says that the Temple of Time is the entrance to the Sacred Realm. Did you know that?
Oh, we heard a bit about the Sacred Realm from the Great Deku Tree.
I wanted to see Princess Zelda. I avoided the guards, swam through the moat. I was almost there when they caught me. I found a small drain hole in the right side of the castle that I thought I could sneak into, but I got stuck there.
Well, sucks to be you, bro.
Ha ha! What a crazy guy! Can you believe this guy was crazy enough to try to sneak into the castle to see Princess Zelda? All because of this idiot. They tightened security at the castle.
We may want to keep that in mind for later. So we got quite a few things we can see around here in town. So how about we check out some of the buildings around here? Starting with this shop over here.
I heard a rumor that there is a monster that eats Hylian shields somewhere out there in the world. Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't.
Welcome!
So we got ourselves a new shop here. We can buy Deku sticks, or we can buy arrows here, which we're not going to need. So we can buy a new shield here, the Hylian shield. This is a big, heavy shield just like the ones Hylian knights use. It can stand up to flame attacks. That is quite the pricey item, so we're going to hold off on that for now. We can also get bombs. You can't buy them without a bomb bag, however, so unfortunately we cannot buy these. And we could also buy hearts or Deku nuts if we want to replenish those. For the time being, we are done with this shop. It is fairly important to keep that one in mind, though. Meanwhile, in this shop here...
There's a rumor going around that there is a potion shop that can make the ultimate medicine.
Welcome! So this shop is pretty important. This is a potion shop, and also contains various other things. The main gimmick of this area is that it sells various items that requires a bottle to be able to hold. So we got green potions there. These can recover magic power, which is something we're not going to be seeing for a little while. Red potions, though, will restore your life energy. Very important as we'll be going forward in our adventure. You can also get a fairy spirit. Definitely going to be useful for later once we have a bottle. There's blue fire, which is really expensive. We're not going to be able to afford that for quite a while, but trust me, that's going to be useful for later. We could also get a bottle bug, which is a little insect that's useful for a few things going forward. We could buy a fish, which I highly don't recommend, even with that if you have enough rupees. Or you could buy a Poe. It's a bottled ghost spirit. Not much we can do with that for the time being, so yeah, just a nice little shop with a couple useful things that we cannot buy yet. How about we head over this way? So we heard about this area a little bit earlier. In the northeastern part of the town, we got this big temple here. The Temple of Time. This will be a pretty important area for us going forward. But for the time being, there's not much we can do here. There are 3 hollows and an inscription here. Ye who owns 3 spiritual stones, stand with the Ocarina of Time and play the Song of Time. That is how the inscription reads. There's not much we can do here, so how about we get moving? Man, I kind of want to take this opportunity to talk about some stuff that's been going on in my life recently, but we have a lot of explaining to do, so we're going to hold off on that for now. I'm going to check out this shop here. What a strange shop. I wonder when it'll be open for business. I read the sign there, but it still seems weird. Happy Mask Shop. Please read the sign before you use this shop. How this shop works. We do not sell masks at this shop. We just lend them to you. You sell the loan masks on your own. You pay back the money for the mask, and we'll lend you a newer model. You can borrow masks you have already sold again. However, you can sell each model of mask only once. Please try our shop. Not much we can do here for the time being, but that will be useful later. Excuse me. So, how about we enter this shop here? Do you want to play a game? It's 20 rupees per play. Sure thing. Okay, this is a game for grown-ups. Hyrule's famous shooting gallery. Take aim on the targets from that platform over there. Can you hit 10 targets? You get 15 shots. Draw your weapon with B. Are you ready? Go for a perfect score. Good luck. So we got ourselves a mini-game here. So we can shoot at various targets with our slingshot. And I'm hoping this is actually going to go well. We have only a couple rounds of ammunition we can use. So be sure to try and hit as many of these targets you can. My controllers are a little bit sensitive, so this may be a bit tricky for us to do here. God, we got all but one of them. Well, alright. I'll let you try one more time for free. This time, you gotta do it. Alright, actually try this. What's nice is that the rupees will come up in a set pattern. So, it's not that bad to hit the targets. Just want to make sure the timing is just good. Damn it. It's not too bad. Just as long as we manage to hit all but 2 rupees, we should be good. Yep, you get a free play every time you hit all but 2 rupees, so definitely keep that in mind. This really isn't that bad of a minigame to play, but when I was practicing this game a couple of days ago, as obviously I wanted to get some practice in before I played this game for realsies, I had the hardest time actually completing this minigame. There we go! Wonderful! Bravo! Perfect! Here's a fantastic present! And by doing that mission, you got a Deku Seed bullet bag. This bag can hold up to 40 slingshot bullets. So with that, we managed to obtain an upgrade for a slingshot, allowing us to carry more ammunition. So now that we've done that, how about we check out this little shop over here? Bombshoe Bowling Alley. This is quite an interesting area. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not open for business yet. Please come back soon. So, we're not going to be able to do this place until we progress the story a bit more. But I will take this point to note, I really love the design of this NPC here. Like, I don't know what it is, but she just looks very cute to me. I like her a lot. And we heard about the back alley, so how about we try some of the areas over here? If we open this one here, treasure chest shop, temporarily closed, open tonight. That's an area we can only go to if we visit the market at night. We're gonna save that for a bit later.
Hey, Sonny, I'll tell you something helpful. I heard there's a mysterious fountain somewhere near the castle.
Ooh, a fountain. Probably want to check that out. Strange, this door doesn't open. Meanwhile, if we go into this house, you can grab a blue rupee from that box. And I don't think there's much else here. We will want to remember this house for later, because this will be important. For the time being, let's just look around a few more spots here. What do you got to say, sir? It seems strange that packs of dogs roam our streets at night. Doesn't that seem weird to you? I don't know. What's weirder to me is the frickin' screen glitching out whenever I talk to people on these screens. Hey, what? What's wrong with loitering around all day? Huh, kid? I don't know. Strange, this door doesn't open. Wonder if there's some graphical thing I could try to mess around with the emulator in order to stop that from happening. We'll have to try it later. But that's pretty much everything we can do here in the big city here. Definitely a nice little location, a lot more lively than Kokiri Forest, so it's nice we got to get a taste of this area, even though there's not much we can do here for the time being. So, with that said, let's head off to the castle. Hyrule Castle. Oh, I see who's up in that tree.
Hey, Hayden, this way. The princess is inside the castle just ahead. Be careful not to get caught by the guards. Woo-hoo-hoo. On this ground, time flows normally, but time stands still while you're in Lon Lon Ranch or in a town. If you want time to pass normally, you'll need to leave town. Well, which way are you going to go now? Woohoo! Do you want to hear what I said again?
No, I do not.
Woo! You're a smart kid. Good luck then. Woohoo!
It's kind of a troll move that developers always put the cursor so that its default option when you are talking to Kaipora Gaibora like that is always to have him repeat his lines again. Which obviously you don't want to do because they can get a little irritating. Ooh, we actually managed to bring up a couple bugs from there. Meanwhile, I wanted to shake that tree by rolling into it because it contains a gold Skulltula. So by getting that guy, we now have 5 gold Skulltulas at this point. So before we go any farther, I want to quickly head back into town, as this will trigger something that will be very important. Once you leave this screen and come back, the girl from the market will now be standing over here.
Are you going to the castle, fairy boy? Would you mind finding my dad? He must have fallen asleep somewhere around the castle. What a thing for an adult to do. Oh yeah, if you'll look for him, I'll give this to you. I've been incubating this egg very carefully.
You got a weird egg. Feels like there's something moving inside. Set it to C and see what happens. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to do blank 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 and press C to use it. So this is definitely a useful item you will want to hold on to. Literally, you need to have it selected on a C button in order for this item to actually work. Now that I got that taken care of, what do you have to say, mister? So, you say you want to see Princess Zelda, eh? You probably heard about her in town and decided you had to meet her. Well, go home. Get out of here. The princess would never grant an audience to the likes of you. How rude. Well, I'm just gonna take my weird egg and scram. Just kidding, we're sneaking into the castle. So in order to do this, we need to climb up these vines here in order to move up to this ledge. And now we're going to be very careful. All throughout this area, there are guards stationed in a lot of locations here. Do not get in their line of sight or they will kick you out and you'll be back near the entrance of town. So I want to quickly note this boulder here. Huh? Apparently there is something beyond that. And if we check this sign, dead end. We'll want to remember that for later. But yeah, what we want to do is very carefully creep up here out of the view of the guards. And then we can move up here. And we cannot take the path up there because there are some guards there, but luckily, there's this wall we can climb. And by going up here, we're able to get onto this ledge here, and then we can jump down here. Now, this next part's very careful. We need to get past those guards that are by the gate. So we just want to hop into the moat here, so that we're out of sight, and just move over here. And we also picked up a couple rupees while we're in this area. Very quickly want to note, this tree here is going to be important for later, so definitely remember that. So meanwhile, all the way over here, welcome. Our ranch is so fun. Come on and look around. Is this the man we heard about from Malin? Unfortunately, there's not much we can do with him at the moment. So how about we go ahead and get started on pushing these milk crates, as these will be important for something we're going to do. Just get these prepared while we wait for a certain thing to happen. So in order to progress, we need to make sure we have the weird egg in our inventory. And then, as the sun rises, look, a chicken hatched from the egg you were incubating. It's the miracle of life. So now we got ourselves this chicken. And we'll want to use you next to this guy. What in tarnation? Can't a person get a little shut-eye around here? Hey, buddy. Hello, and who might you be? Yup, I'm Talon, the owner of Online Ranch. I went to the castle to deliver some milk, but I sat down here to rest and I guess I fell asleep. What? Malin was looking for me? Well, I'm gonna catch it from her now. Oh, Mr. Bad leaving Malin behind to wait for me. She's really gonna let me have it! He seems fun. So, interesting little tidbits, those NPCs that we talked to, Malin and Talon. As you can tell from their names, they're actually inspired by Marin and Terran from Link's Awakening, which, as a big fan of that game, I very much appreciate the reference. Malin and Talon even resemble Marin and Terran very closely, which I think just is a very good detail. So now that we got these milk crates up, we are now able to get over to this little drain. And now we're in the castle courtyard. This area is going to be pretty interesting to go through. We have some Hyrule guards patrolling these areas, and we want to very carefully sneak our way through. So it's like we're playing a game of Metal Gear Solid here, just avoiding the guards. Luckily, you don't have to worry about them hearing your footsteps. They'll only catch you if you enter their line of sight. So, as long as you are careful, you shouldn't have to worry about them. Ooh, we were very lucky that they were spawned there. So I love the very obvious trap here with this guard patrolling this area that has a lot of rupees. I'm not going to go for those rupees there. We can get a lot more later. Just want to sneak on by and get over here. Now we have two more guards patrolling this statue. Navi, what is it? I wonder where we'll find the princess in this big old castle. I don't know, Navi. Shut up or the guards will hear us. Yeah, as you could no doubt tell from a lot of the interactions we've had in this game, Navi gets very chatty. Sometimes to our detriment, but we'll save that discussion for a bit later. Now we got 2 guards patrolling around here. Just want to very carefully wait for this guy to pass so we have an opening. Alright, we should be good once you move forward. I just need you to turn. Come on, hurry, hurry, hurry. Oh, I don't usually see these guards in this particular formation. Oh, jeez, oh, jeez, oh, jeez, oh, jeez, oh, jeez, oh, jeez. This is bad. Come on, come on, move, move, move!
Hey, you stop! You kid, over there!
Ah, crap. Ugh. Luckily, if those guys catch you outside the courtyard, they'll only throw you out here, so it's not too bad in order to get back your progress in. Man, I really messed up with that part. I don't usually see those last guards in that formation, so that's what screwed me over there. Okay, we can easily get past you here. Then we got these 2. It should be pretty easy to do. Just need to wait for one of you to... Okay. They're both on that end, so we're just going to need to wait here. Come on. Keep moving. Keep moving. You got a schedule to keep, and so do I. I actually don't know when we're going to be ending things off in this stream session, but we're making very good time so far. We can completely ignore this guy if we head up here. So, up here on this... I don't know what you would call this, but you are able to walk along this beam here in order to completely forego that guard. Definitely helpful. Okay, we got you 2 here. Just need you to get moving. Come on. Come on, I don't got all day. Come on, fate of the world is at stake. I had to watch my father figure die earlier. Come on. There we go. Alright, and we got these 2 guards here. Okay, I think the RNG on these guys is pretty good. Oh, wait. I'm trying to think about what I want to do for this formation. So gotta be really careful here to make sure that we are progressing in the right way. Okay, yeah, so I want to get behind this guy, and we should be good. Come on. Alright, this is good. We have them in a good position, so we should be able to move forward. Alright, come on. We are just about done here. Alright, buddy, you can move forward, please. And we are donezo! Aha! Sweet freedom! The castle courtyard. There's a girl over there, but there's some other stuff we're able to do here. Some interesting little Easter eggs. If you shoot your Deku seeds at this window... Hey, you! Don't cause any trouble! That guard pops up and throws a bomb at you. That's pretty cute. Meanwhile, if you shoot this window, a red rupee will fall out. Very cute. Also a nice little Easter egg with this window. You can see some pictures of various Mario characters there. So there's Bowser, Mario, Princess Toadstool, and Yoshi. It's a very cute little reference. After all, the Mario series and the Zelda series were both created by Shigeru Miyamoto. And Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time were developed very closely together, so it's very nice we have these little references here. But now, it's time to go talk to who we were sent to find. Hello.
Who? Who
you? How did you get past the guards? I killed them and ate their livers. Oh, what's that? Is that a fairy? The fuck did you just call me? Then, are you from the forest? Then, you wouldn't happen to have the spiritual stone of the forest, would you? That green and shining stone? Do you have it? Yes, I do. Just as I thought! I had a dream. In the dream, dark storm clouds were billowing over the land of Hyrule. But suddenly, a ray of light shot out from the forest, parted the clouds, and lit up the ground. The light turned into a figure holding a green and shining stone, followed by a fairy. I know this is a prophecy that someone would come from the forest. Yes, I thought you might be the one. Oh, I'm sorry. I got carried away in my story and didn't even properly introduce myself. I am Zelda, Princess of Hyrule. What is your name? I really like the design of this version of Zelda. She's very cute. Hayden. Strange. It sounds somehow familiar. Okay then, Hayden. I'm gonna tell you the secret of the sacred realm that has been passed down by the royal family of Hyrule. Please, keep this a secret from everyone. Okay. The legend goes like this. The three goddesses hid the Triforce containing the power of the gods somewhere in Hyrule. The power to grant the wish of the one who holds the Triforce in his hands. If someone with a righteous heart makes a wish, it will lead Hyrule to a golden age of prosperity. If someone with an evil mind has his wish granted, the world will be consumed by evil. That is what has been told. So, the ancient sages built the Temple of Time to protect the Triforce from evil ones. That's right. The Temple of Time is the entrance through which you can enter the sacred realm from our world. But the entrance is sealed with a stone wall called the Door of Time. And, in order to open the door, it is said that you need to collect 3 spiritual stones. And another thing you need is the treasure that the royal family keeps along with this legend. The Ocarina of Time. Title drop. Did you understand well the story I just told you? Yeah, pretty much. That's great. I forgot to tell you. I was spying for this window just now. The other element from my dream, the dark clouds, I believe they symbolize that man in there. Will you look through the window at him? Sure. Alright, who is he? Can you see the man with the evil eyes? That is Ganondorf, the leader of the Gerudos. They hail from the desert far to the west. Though he swears allegiance to my father, I am sure he is not sincere. The dark clouds that covered Hyrule in my dream, they must symbolize that man.
I wonder what's for dinner.
What happened? Did he see you? Don't worry. He doesn't have any idea what we're planning yet. Yes, I told my father about my dream. However, he didn't believe it was a prophecy. But I can sense that man's evil intentions. What Ganondorf is after must be nothing less than the Triforce of the Sacred Realm. He must have come to Hyrule to obtain it. And he wants to conquer Hyrule. No, the entire world. Hayden, now we are the only ones who can protect Hyrule. Please. Okay. Thank you. I am afraid. I have a feeling that man is going to destroy Hyrule. He has such terrifying power. But it's fortunate that you have come. We must not let Ganondorf get the Triforce. I will protect the Ocarina of Time with all my power. He shall not have it. You go find the other 2 spiritual stones. Let's get the Triforce before Ganondorf does, and then defeat him. One more thing. Take this letter. I'm sure it'll be helpful to you. You received Zelda's letter. Wow, this letter has Zelda's autograph. Set it to C and show it with C. On the select item subscreen, you can set it, and then use that C to show it to people. My attendant will guide you out of the castle. Don't be afraid to talk to her. Sure thing, Your Highness. I really love that scene, just seeing Link getting to meet and establishing the bond that he will share with Zelda throughout this game. Also, that scene with Ganondorf, oh boy. So the name Ganondorf was actually name-dropped much earlier in the Zelda series, back in A Link to the Past. And this is the first time we ever get to truly see Ganondorf, as we never got to see the Thief King himself during the events of A Link to the Past. Now's probably a good time to mention that Ocarina of Time is actually a prequel to pretty much every other Zelda game that was released by the time of this game's release. So there's a lot of elements here that will help define moments that were established much earlier in the Zelda canon. Pretty cool. Speaking of other things that are established from Zelda canon... Hello, nurse! I am Impa of the Sheikahs. I am responsible for protecting Princess Zelda. Everything is exactly as the princess foretold. You are a courageous boy. You are heading out on a big new adventure, aren't you? My role in the princess's dream was to teach a melody to the one from the forest. This is an ancient melody passed down by the royal family. I have played this song for Princess Zelda as a lullaby ever since she was a baby. There is mysterious power in these notes. Now listen carefully. You've learned Zelda's Lullaby. If the castle soldiers find you, there will be trouble. Let me lead you out of the castle. Thank you. You brave lad, we must protect this beautiful land of Hyrule. Take a good look at that mountain. That is Death Mountain, home of the Gorons. They hold the spiritual stone of fire. At the foot of Death Mountain, you will find my village, Kakariko. That is where I was born and raised. You should talk to some of the villagers there before you go up Death Mountain. The song I just taught you has some mysterious power. Only royal family members are allowed to learn this song. Remember, it will help to prove your connection with the royal family. The princess is waiting for you to return to the castle with the stones. Alright, we're counting on you. And she's gone. So, Impa there is a pretty interesting character. All the way back in the lore for the very first Zelda game, Impa was established as the nursemaid and caretaker to Princess Zelda. And she would often appear in a lot of the lore of the Zelda canon, but never actually appeared in a role in-game until this one. Unless you're counting Zelda Wand of Gamelon, which I'm obviously not counting. And it is pretty cool seeing this depiction of Impa. Whereas in most of the lore, she's depicted as a very elderly woman. Here, she's this badass ninja nursemaid who is most likely just in her early 40s. And yeah, she is pretty great. I love her design, her character, and her role in this story. Pretty good too. Ugh, we have Nightfall here. It's making me think of what we're going to be doing next. Actually, this is a good as time as any to call this stream here. We made some excellent progress managing to obtain the first spiritual stone from the Great Deku Tree, as well as getting to meet Princess Zelda herself and being given our main quest objective, which is to gather the spiritual stones before Ganondorf can. So yep, this is where we are going to be stopping things for this session. Thank you for joining me in the beginning of this very incredible game, and I will see you in 2023, where we continue our adventure and head off to Kokoriko Village and beyond. Until next time, have a good day and take care.